So welcome back to guys to another video. In this video we are going to talk about gross domestic product. How GDP of a country calculate? How does it affect it if it in surplus or in deficit? How does a GDP of a person affect its international relationship and with another country, or we can say how does it help to boost out the economy of a particular company. So basically what does gross domestic product means? It's a clear and quite big definition given out here. I created out these slides through an article, either using a article on internet or through a chat GPT. Yeah, I am using chat GPT in order to create these slides. Like I use data. I'm improving my writing skill, but it's not quite that good enough to present these status or lines in that format. Basically, that's it. I want to say. Now let's read out this gross domestic product or GDP is like in a big scroll over. That's so how a well country is doing economically. Yeah, I want to say that through that GDP we can make assumption for a given country that how well they are doing in the economics in compared to the another country. If they have in boosting in their economics, then it's clear means that the GDP is doing quite good in quite often recent period of time. It add up the value of all the things a country make and service per year. Yeah, in order to calculate a GDP of country, we basically calculate the value of all the final good of a given year in a country. We sum up the value of all the final good of a given year in a country in order to find the GDP value of a given country. This include like cars, food, clothes, yeah, all the everything, every means of the final goods. We actually sum up all this value of this final goods value, and then and it's one of the way to calculate the GDP of out in a country. Like if I want to make it clear that final goods should be calculated only once, not calculated thrice or fourth. Like if it is in a sugar mill, then final product of that mill should be sugar. Like we used to calculate this in GDP. What if that sugar included in biscuit? Then we are not going to calculate. Then we are not going to use final value of sugar in that particular field, because the final product of all the process like wheat flour is biscuit. We are going to use biscuit as a final product in order to calculate the in order to calculate the final goods field of that particular field. If you accumulate or sum up all those values together, then this basically come out the GDP of a country. GDP helps us understand how strong economy is and how much it is growing. Yeah, I basically said earlier this about that if is good company is doing great in that or keep increasing like 7 to 8% a year, that means their economy is doing quite good, or indirectly we can say their GDP is increasing with over period of time. Now let's move to next point. What does it say through next point? What is it? How GDP calculated? GDP is calculated by adding up the value of everything produced in a country order during a specific time, usually a year or quarter. This includes the value of goods and services consumed domestic as exported to other countries. We can calculate GDP by adding the value of everything produced in a country. GDP is calculated by adding up the value of everything produced within a country border during a within a specific time, usually a year or quarter. This includes the value of goods and services consumed domestically as well as those exported to. What does people come out to be like? Mm, yeah, what? There is no problem. They expose themselves yourself in front of others. That's not my fault. My fault is to create this video, even in a worst case. So I keep doing that only. Mm, First, first I'm going to create an experience in speaking English. Then only I can. Then only I can say anything about this. Yeah, today only. Today and this point of time, my whole task is to create this video. I'm not thinking about something else. I'm keep focusing on this moment and this particular slides. GDP is calculated by adding up the value of everything produced within a country border during a specific time. Usually, this includes value of goods and services consumed domestically as well export to other countries. Yeah, we can calculate GDP through some of the value of final goods during a particular specific time. Usually, use a year to in order to calculate a GDP. Yeah, but most of the time, assumption made on the quarter basis also. And in the second point is said that the GDP also calculated based on the net factor income, export items, import item, all that things will consider in mind in order to calculate GDP. Not only the final good and services, but also how much we are importing and exporting. It also keep in mind in order to calculate GDP. There are many formulas or factor I have been used in order to calculate. That was earlier I was discussing about the. That was one of them, but yeah, there are many factor has been given in order to calculate GDP. National factor and like formula based all lesson. Why GDP important? GDP important because it's give you a way to understand how well economy is doing. It's given to understand how well an economy is doing. Give an idea. Yeah, it help you to us see if economy is growing, staying the same or shrinking. It's like a measuring a stick of a country finance and health. Yeah, I already said about this. What does high GDP means? GDP means if we increasing surplus over a period of time, then it's mean high GDP. Use a country economy is strong and people have a more money to spend. Yeah, if we have a if we booming out in a GDP of a country, then that means per capita income of person also increasing. Then they also can spend on various things. At this point, we also assuming that if a GDP of a country increasing, then government going to invest more on infrastructure purposes. Will give out more subsidy to people so that they can use the subsidy in order subsidy to create consumption production increase. If the consumption increase of people, then that means they are spending more money on in the market, which will automatically help out a given country to boost their economy. If the consumption and purpose of a demand purpose in the market keep increasing, that means it help our government to boost their economy. Because the business is doing well, people working and overall, and then that means also unemployment level is also decreasing over time. If the GDP of a particular government is increasing, what are the common content of GDP? GDP has a more four component: consumer spending. Yeah, people are spending by. If I already said about that, if government gives relaxation taxation tax relaxation to the workers of particular particular country, then their consumption automatically increase. Government is spending. What are the government by investment money spent on anything like factories, net export, the value of goods and service. Yeah, there's value for out given are there like consumption, consumer spending, government is spending, investment, make thing like factory, next export. Countries sell their to other countries. How does a GDP affect people life? GDP affect people life because it tied up how much money is available in their country. When economy is strong, high GDP, there is usually more job, high wages, and better living condition. Yeah, if a country has a high GDP, then unemployment level also we decrease over period of time. If unemployment decreases, that means more and more people are going to job. More people are getting paid well for their living life. If they paid like that, that means they are spending more on consumption. It's in a cycle. It will affect if it is if then automatically help to get inflation. If consumption is more than demand, then inflation automatically create. When economy is high and high GDP automatically. For 12 minutes has been passed in this video. Oh, it's moving with quite a good speed. Can GDP compare between countries? Yes, what is important to care for? GDP can show the overall economic size of a country, but does not consider factor like population or cost of living. Comparing GDP between countries require adjusting for this difference. Yeah, we can compare the GDP. Usually, we compare on an international basis. How powerful are different countries basically on the GDP? If a given country's GDP is more than another company, then we said oh, that country is more powerful than that. Many factors need to be given factor if we have to measure particular country on that it is not easy. Overall economic size of country, but doesn't consider factor like population or cost of living. You have to make sure that how does per capita income of a country given country is. Compare GDP between countries require adjusting for these differences. You have to keep in mind different factor in order to compare a factor. But usually a GDP indicate how good a country is doing over a period of time. GDP measure everything. No, GDP has limitation. It does not measure the thing like happiness, health. Something like population pollution causing factor might boost GDP but harm the environment. Causing factor might boost GDP. Yeah, it's quite good answer out here by the no GDP. Yeah, we cannot calculate how well GDP is doing on a factor of happiness of a people. Whether a person is doing a 12-hour a job in order to acquire that amount of money. If it's doing 12 or 14 hours a day in order to acquire that amount of money, then that means it's not quite good or condition in order to live on a happy life. If a person is doing overtime in a factory, then factory must doing quite good in that area or a field of that, but workers happiness can be measured through that. They're giving everything, health, environment, qualities. What government do in over GDP? Government can take action to boost GDP like investing in infrastructure, encouraging spending, sport, supporting business, promoting trade. This is mainly economic trade. Yeah, we can. Governments had to take many decisions to boost infrastructure, increasing spending, supporting business, promoting trade. Step has to be taken in order to boost the economy. As GDP is the only measure of economic health. No, GDP is important, but it doesn't everything. Other measures like human development index and gross national happiness consider a factor beyond just money to help access well-being. I think that's all for the slides purpose. Already 15 minutes has been passed in this video. We'll see you next time. I'm moving with quite good speed. Already covered two videos in this series. It's around 5:33 a.m. in the morning. I'm recording this video. It was like quite good shake. Love this video making. Not love this. I'm not editing or doing some other stuff. But yeah, first I would want to gain excellence in speaking English. Then I going to make edited, quite good edited video in near future in order to gain audience. First, I have to gain excellence through these slides or getting video my own or your own. That's only one way you can get excellence in a particular field. Trying trying think on your own only way to get master in the field as fast as you can. There is no other way. There is no other any shortcut. You have to jump in the field on your own in order to get excellence. Whatever you want to do in a particular field, you have to jump in that field. You have to face the fear of your own. Then only you can pin that. Then only you can get excellence in that particular field. Yes, that's why I'm creating these videos. It's section video. I'm assuming I'm going to create around 6 videos a day, about 2.30 on per day on your own with an article which I'm going to analyze at least for 30 minutes, like how or what I have used in this period, how I can improve this article, what other thing can I use so that it can look more promising to other person. Going to analyze and I'm going to learn new phrases and word also, so that I can improve my writing skill as well as speak English. If I can do both of them, then my thought process will become quite clear. If my thought process are quite clear, then I can speak out more easily and precisely in front of others. Do you get it what I want to say? Yeah, first I want to excellence in writing skill and speaking English. Like, it will take time. I'm not saying I will master it in often some period of time. It will take time, but yeah, I'm ready to give time. If I'm ready to give time, and excellence is must. That's it for the video. We'll see you next time. Till you keep hustling.